what are your queries with respect to the project?
Yeah, Vajrang, in the last, when we have to filter the data according to the industry type, right? So I have filtered the data table and the output is right. But while writing to the workbook, I'm not sure. I have tried everything, but it's not working. Can I share my screen and show you?
Let's keep that on hold. Let's take other questions as well.
Sure.
Yep. Karthik.
Hi, Vajrang. It is not yet completed uh, uh, completely. I'll complete it by today. Yesterday I was a bit occupied with my work.
Okay. Praveen.
Hi Vajrang, I was also unable to complete it. So I have some interview calls, so that's why I need to complete by today.
Okay. So whenever you have interview calls, try to do this coding interview sessions because this will help you. Okay,
Yeah.
Surabhi.
Yes, I was busy, so I was not able to join call for some day. Yeah, this time there was call client call scheduled, so
Okay,
from today only I am free.
no problem. Please go ahead and continue. Sonam.
Yeah, I was young. I have started the coding, but at the place like I have to choose the date 43 days back. I was doing work on that. I don't know what I have to.
So you don't know how to choose a date that's 43 days back?
No, no, I don't know.
Okay, this can be an interview
Uh,
question.
yeah, I was seeing the video and all the things. I was doing work on that. I was studying that.
Rahul. Hi, Rahul.
I was young. I have not completed it yet.
Okay, Prashant.
Was not completed.
Okay, Ganesh. Ganesh, can you please unmute and talk? Okay, so Ganesh is not able to connect. So Ganesh, I am disconnecting you from the meeting. Please go ahead and rejoin again with audio. Okay, so we have Wali. Hi, Wali.
Hi Vajrang. Yeah, there's some problem with my Teams, so yeah, I rejoined again.
That's fine. Were you able to complete the task that's given?
No, actually, I'm trying. Not yet, Vajrang.
Okay, so what was the issue?
There is so many problems there. Nothing is working out. So by tomorrow, definitely I'll do that. Complete this, Vajrang.
Okay, so Maha.
Hi, Vishran. I try to build that workflow in a normal way, not through Audi framework, and I
Okay.
faced the issue with finding the element of, choosing that education from the drop down, and date part is pending for me.
Okay, so how are you trying to select a date?
I'm trying with find children and send hotkey through that, but none is working.
Why don't you just type in the date and press enter? Will that work?
There, no, there. It's not like we can type it.
No, we can type into you. We can use that. Just try that.
Okay, I tried
Yes,
that,
we
but
can.
it is not working. It is choosing the first option. Okay, I'll check
Okay.
later.
Okay. Um, okay. So try to complete it. We are almost in the middle of the week. So this is Tuesday, and we have only 1 or 2 days to complete this particular use case, because the fourth week is the last week where we will be working on the last one more use case. So think that this is a project, and in this project, though you say your excuses, at the end you need to deliver your output. So if you are not able to deliver the output, that's when problems will happen. So don't neglect that. Please go ahead and complete. And yes, Pragati. So let's go ahead with your code, because you're the only person who are able to work on something. So let's see.
Okay, Vajrang, bits and pieces might be there, like the format and all, but yeah, I was able to reach to the last point, but I need to write it to the different sheets. I will just share my screen and
Sure.
just want to show you. So this is the Excel. I have written all the data.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is sheet one as of now, only one sheet only. And then we can just filter out this data. It is now from CSV to Excel we have done, and in Excel we have written all the data.
Okay.
Yeah, so now what this is just I created this activity just to test my code. This is my file name, and I just what I did, I have read this range from this sheet one data, and then after that I'm filtering out the data, this filter out data, and then I'm just using the industry type. Firstly, I'm going to filter the banking data. Yeah, so the banking data, if I filter, I'm able to write to this table, and after that, once I'm just going to output, it's writing the same data. I will just debug and show you.
Okay. Let me do things for you. Like this is the concept that I follow normally. So let's stop it once.
Okay, so
Can
you
you give me the access?
okay, sure.
Okay, so the thing that you're doing is in Excel, you're trying to read all the data and then you're filtering the range, right?
Yeah,
So here is the Excel, and can I run this Excel alone? Yes, I
yeah,
can do
yeah,
that.
you can. Yeah,
So
so I've set it up.
current
Yeah, it's
directory.
working fine if you debug the code, but just that in the last, it's not saving that worksheet. I'm writing to the sheet 2 banking data. So this is reading the range from sheet 1 and
So
then
while
filter out.
downloading, how are you downloading? Is it a CSV or is it a Excel?
So firstly, it's a when we are downloading, it's a CSV,
Okay.
and then after that, I'm converting that to Excel. I'm writing that to Excel.
So uh, check with the logic first, because the logic is what important here. Okay. I'm writing an essence statement to find list of unique column names, unique industries. So how can I do that? All I
So
can do is
suiting.
DT, if you are using a DT. So is it, what is the path? Is it data table,
Sorry,
DT banking?
the data table is there, but then assign won't work because then you have to use the assign range after that. So
Mhm.
firstly, yeah. So read range when you are doing it is just outputting to DT output.
Got it. So this is one way how you can do that. DT underscore.
D capital it is DT. Yeah,
Yeah. If
output.
you press Control space, you're going to get it dot default view of. So you need to give record index as integer and row view. So there are different ways how you can do that. But I would like to go online to see if I can get it through this get column. column values in UiPath. Okay, so there are different ways, like you can loop through, but there is also a different way, like use data view. Unique. So get all unique values from a column. Okay, so your data table dot to table true column. This is one way. Filter based on more than one column. This is what we have. So let's go ahead with UiPath. It's not the one, right? Yeah, default view dot to table, and in this to table we need to give the column name and the column name comma. We need to give first we need to give if it is a boolean value or not. Boolean value states that that should be unique values or not. So these are true, and if I want to see this, what is the okay, let's go ahead, configure. So industry is what I want. Cancel. So when in an interview, mostly you will be seen how you are able to use or write code. A bit of logic is what you are expected to do. So it's of table data type, so that's the reason it's not able to assign it to a string. So what we can do is you can use a list of unique instead of
Yeah, string. We have used array. Yeah.
dt, which says that it's a data table, and this is of type data table. Okay, now you will get all the values in data table. Now you can use for each.
So for each industry type, yeah.
Okay, so there are different ways how you can do this. Let's do it with for each row in data table now, and then we'll go ahead with other option as well. So this is dt output, and in okay, so this is dt unique industries. dt unique industries. When we are getting unique industries, what do we need to do? Then we need to filter the data table. Okay, and I think there is a bit, this is a bit different. I'm not sure.
So column count, okay.
What is this column count?
Yeah, because there are actually you can use two ways. One is for each row in data table, or otherwise you can use for each. So the layout of both is quite different.
I'm not sure exactly why, because this is the new version, I think. That's the reason
Yeah.
we are getting something like this. So let's go with header names filter. Row of industry is what I can check. If you see here, it will come as industry. So in configure, I can just write, okay. So this is current row of industry, or I can just add current row of 0. This will give me anyhow the value, and okay, I will use industry here, and the value is, it can be any value.
Current row, yeah,
Yeah,
0.
whatever current row it has, current row value. and this will give me an output, and I'm taking this as banking output, but it can be anything. And Excel application scope you are using and writing it to a range. Okay.
So this
Visible
one, Vajrang, 1 minute. So here
is
we are
not.
going to every time we are going to create the different sheet, right?
Yes, so for that, what we can do is instead of having that in a like checking that, you can use this concept like for each loop you can use, and you can do that like in this file name, instead of sheet 2 you can go ahead and delete this and write current row of 0. So the current row of 0 will give you the industry name. So we are writing it in data table, right? Current row, and the current row of 0 will give you the value. Let's see why we are having an error.
So here, yeah, because
Object to
everything comes
string.
in double quotes. Dot string,
You
yeah.
just give dot to string, then it will be updated. So DT banking, this is fine because every time we are updating this DT banking, we will be doing that. And output data table is data table. I think this is also good. Let's go ahead and see what is the output that we are getting. Okay, step into.
Sorry, 1 minute. Maybe the sheet is open. Let me just check.
Okay, let's continue. That
Okay.
doesn't matter for now. Okay, if you see here, are you using debug windows like locals,
Yeah.
immediate panel, watch?
Mm,
Because this will definitely help you out.
yeah.
Okay, so here we have DT output. So we have all
Yes.
the values. So let's go ahead and see what is there in DT unique row items. So DT unique items. And if
Yeah.
I
All
see
the
here,
industries are coming up.
industry, education, communication. So these are the industries that I have. Now, if you see here, current row, DT unique industries, what is the current row that we can get? If you just go ahead and step into, and if I see here, current row, data
This
row,
errors.
and current row has false, and it is with education.
Education. Okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead, press cancel. Let's see what is the value that we get in DT banking. So now DT banking is null if you see, but when I go through this filter data table, DT banking will have some value, and everything that's with education will
Education.
come in. Okay, so everything that's with education will come in. Press cancel, and let's go ahead. Write text, write line. Okay, step into
Yeah. So it has written. Yeah. Okay.
environment.current directories plus file name. So when you're taking the file name, let's see what
So
is the file
file
name.
name is defined already. File name is this Excel sheet.
So the problem that's happening here is environment.current directory plus file name will give you what is the current directory that you have, that is path, and then I think that should be saved in the local folder. This
Yeah,
is
it
where
is
it
saved in the
should,
local folder only,
yeah.
not under anything. Yeah, Pragati, this one, 1509.
No, this will not be saved like this.
No?
No,
Why so?
no, because let me just give it to you. Right range, save workbook. Okay. Okay, when you have something like this, environment.current directory will give you the path. Refresh. Let's see with data. Nothing. So RE framework.
No, the in what I have set is environment.current directory. It will give the whole folder, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct, but it will give you this folder, UiPath folder.
Okay.
Refresh. Group by data, date modified. So if you want something like that, see, It's creating a UiPath folder, and education is what you have. Sheet 1 and sheet 2 are available by default. So if I just go ahead and continue this, so I'm removing any breakpoints that I have. I'm just continuing. Let's see. We also need to see about the execution time that it has.
Yeah, I was just testing this, but I will fine tune this one.
So if you just see, it's updating all the items continuously. So if you want this to be inside your folder or in this particular directory, all you need to do is you need to add a slash. Now what will happen? It will come into current directory and it will add a file name. So this is a bit different. Run file.
So after this, we have to zip it and mail to you, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So we have all the values if you see. And now you will have a separate folder or separate file. So this is Pragati, right? So in this file, now this is with current folder, RPS samples, and here you are checking with this file. So now you will have all the values. Understand the path of giving, how you can give the path. This is one way. The second way of giving this as path is, see, if you want to combine two paths, the best way to do it without item is using path.combine. Again, how did I know this? Practice. So path.combine, and this accepts two arguments. Let's see. Path. Can you please keep yourself in mute if you're not talking, please? Path dot. There should be path dot combine. I'm not sure why this is not available, but path dot combine is what you need. Check online on why it's not available.
Sure.
Okay, so path dot combine is what you require. So here you have slash. Now this is creating a path, complete path. Or else you can just add file name. Even this add file name will work, because the file name is currently inside. So whenever you're giving the dynamic path, then it will take, okay, what is this? File name is not declared. Okay.
File name is there, yeah.
Yeah, I typed it wrong. So even this will work. This will go into the same place because that's there inside the folder. Okay. So that's how you can filter the values. So first what I did, I filtered out all the unique values. Then using the unique values, I'm filtering the data. So that becomes easy for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Okay. The other way I think I can do it is Control C, Control V. Let me just try it out. Not sure if it will work or not. So get unique column values using link. Okay, distinct by property. Okay, how to get distinct values from a collection. So let's see this. Okay, this is one of the way, I guess. Okay, so let's try it out. Not sure if this will work, but let's just go ahead and try. What's wrong in trying? If I'm not able to do that, please go ahead and you do, so that we'll check. So this is your table. I'll change it to dt, and that is dt output group by, and let's see, expression expected. So whenever there is an expression expected of x table, let's see, dot select again. Okay, so table field column. Okay, x dot x dot what table field column, if I want to do that. Okay, let's add one simple thing here. Data table. Let's see if we can get any distinct rows from a data table. Okay, get distinct value from a data table. Get distinct column values from a data table. I think we can give why you link, because the processing time for link will be very much lesser when you compare the same to your data table or filtering. Okay. Okay, I am getting something like this: data table dot values, select row attribute name equal to this, and dot distinct. Okay, let's try this. I'm not sure again. So we should get a list of items dot select of. So when we are using select, the problem with select query is it will give you the complete row instead of giving you the only the value. So that's the problem with this select query. Select a row such that new attribute. Okay. Okay, it will take time. I will not be able to do this within the training time. So you do it by yourself. Maybe you can try and do that. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So any other questions? But are you able to understand this logic or not? Please answer. If you're not able to understand this logic, then I'll explain further.
Sure, Vajrang, I have to go through it. We'll let you know if face any problem.
What about others?
So there are a couple of things. I will just try to finish it. And just one thing, Vajrang, I was reading about the best practices and even found it little difficult as well while doing it. Like RE framework, I found it little difficult to debug if we are, we have to come out of it and do the activity standalone, and then only I was able to combine it with the RE framework.
Mhm. So
But if
the
I
pro
start writing within that, I face issue. I'm not able to debug that easily.
That's fine, Pragati. This is the any first time that you are trying to do this, so this will be a bit difficult. So that should be fine. Absolutely, you will not have much of an issue once you have done it for more than 5 to 6 projects. Okay, so best practices: remove all the unused variables,
Yeah.
remove all the workflows that are not used. So unused workflows states that just it will remove. Let's see. Okay, so all these are unused workflows. So how can you see if there is something that is unused that's not invoked anywhere?
Oh no.
Okay, so I think that
Sorry,
will
sorry.
be
1 minute,
added.
Vajrang. So everything is gone now.
Exactly. You can check that in recycle bin. Let's go ahead and check that.
Okay. Because I was writing it, but I did not invoke it like, in the main.
Exactly. So that's how this will work. So let's go with recycle bin and let's try.
We've been just, yeah.
Okay, group by date modified.
Yeah, so I can see download CSV. Yeah, yeah, right. That's okay. I will just pull it back.
So all these are deleted today. So you
Hmm.
can just select them and you can
Restore.
restore.
Yeah, yeah. I was just testing the code. Yeah, but I have not recombined.
Okay, let's go ahead. So one of the best practice that you are missing again is with the, let's see, you're not adding
Prakriti,
the folders. So if you are just a second, who's talking?
Sundarali here.
Yeah, Vali. Just a second, Vali. I'll update it and I'll give it to you. So if you are working on any application, so this is a sequence. So RPS sample, right? So RPS sample samples. So everything that's related to RPS sample, like login, okay, create new supplier goes into RPS samples. Download CSV, okay, open RPS samples.
Move and create Excel.
Yep, so create Excel, even this, and
And then test sequence.
yeah, test sequence, everything. So this is the one of the best way, because when you see the project structure now, this is optimized and you can see only one thing, that's process flow, and even this practice should be there in
Data. Yeah.
data folder in output, not anywhere else.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is how you need to do it, and screenshots should also be there in output folder.
Except screenshot. I think there was one folder for screenshot itself.
That screenshot
Yeah.
is different.
Exception.
Exception screenshots is different. This screenshot is different. So whenever you record, all the images that you see, those are these images.
Okay.
So this is the image that will be saved. So these are linked in your code. So this is completely different from the screenshots that you're taking. So that should be saved in output.
Okay.
Okay, and exception screenshots should be fine. And RPS samples, let's see with naming convention. See, when you're working with naming convention, you should not have spaces and you should have underscore between two words. That's the best way. Okay, and arguments. Okay, this is fine. I found it good. And
Yeah, I
anything
have
else?
used few places I have used variables, but I will change that to arguments so that when I'm going from one flow to another, I can take as input and output.
Yeah. So move file and create Excel.
Yeah, there are quite a few
Okay,
variables.
see, unused arguments. That's what you need to remove. And this should not be like this. And this particular value should be an in argument.
Yeah, this anyways we are going to put in configuration files, so this was just for I created it
Yes,
individually.
take it as a complete project. Don't do half cooked noodles. Yeah.
Yeah.
So complete it as a project. That's how it will help you to understand the logic and to understand things. Okay. Yes, Wally, please go ahead. Sorry, I
Yeah.
interrupted you earlier.
That's what I asked. Actually, did she get the grab the values from the config file or
No, I have
directly?
not put anything in config file yet. I was just, I have individually created the different XAML files, but I will recombine the code.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So, what I want is the format, the date format that you are writing should be there in assets of orchestrator. Because in future, if I want to change it instead of a DDMMYY, I will change it to MMDDYY.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I should have it in orchestrator asset. The second thing is the URL should also be there in orchestrator asset.
Yeah.
Okay, any kind of value that can be changed in future or that's not static should be moved into asset.
Any kind of?
Any kind of variable that will be changed continuously. For example, if I say instead of rpa.com/suppliers, I will add rpa.com/suppliers instead of rpa samples. So that can change in future. That if that's changed, then should I come into the code and change it? No, I should not do that. I should be able to do that directly in the asset.
But it should be in settings, right? Is it in assets?
See, you need to add something in settings which will not change. Something like the folder structure, data, like we have a data folder, but inside data folder you have input and output folders. So input and output folder paths can be inside settings, but data folder path, like what if I don't want to have this? When you publish this code, data folder also will be combined and published. So let's assume that there are many screenshots, around 20 MB of screenshots. Now, when you publish it to Orchestrator, that complete 20 MB files will be sent to Orchestrator as a package. That you should not do. Maybe in future, I just want to have this data folder separately in a different shared location.
Okay.
Now, how are you going to do that? Okay, so these are the things that we normally don't understand and don't think while we are trying with simple use cases. But in a larger projects, understand the complexity. Now we are working only on simple RPA samples and it's taking hours together to create the code. What if we are dealing with 4 to 5 applications and 4 to 5 applications, each application has a runtime of around 1 to 2 minutes. So when its bot is running for 1 to 2 minutes, it means that there are 5 to 6 workflows for each and every application. Open and close will be same, like open and close will be there for each and every application, but other than that, navigations will be a separate workflow. So these are the things that we generally miss out in the interviews. If you practice it according to the project, only then you will be able to answer these questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Vajra.
So Praveen, today you have interview with UiPath, right? So when you are asked any question regarding what is the project structure, you definitely need to understand and say that the best practices you will follow is having separate folders for each and every application and having separate components for each and every application. For example, there is a login, have a separate login module, logouts, have a separate logout module. So differentiate with all the workflows. Okay, so the best thing that I have liked in Pragati's code is she completely moved all the Excel as a separate workflow. Now, if she want to make any changes in it and if she want to check, she need not run it from the workflow directly or from main. She can work it as separate file. So that's what make a developer's life easier. And one thing I'm clearly missing here is you didn't write annotations. Annotations are compulsory. Don't miss out
Yeah.
annotations.
Yes.
Okay, annotations are mandatory because if you don't add annotations, you will not be able to understand what is what. And the other important point is one of the best practices, know that arguments need or arguments also have annotations and we can add annotations. So this will give me only one thing, what this argument is for. It's an orchestrator queue name. What if there is a workflow file with around 20 to 30 arguments? Ideally, the maximum arguments that we can add for a file is uh, like the best practice would be 6 to 8. If you are having more than that, then make it into two different subflows and try to work on it. If you're not doing that, then again you will get confused on what is the particular argument and why are you using it. Okay, any questions?
Vajram, can you just explain about that add log activity? Uh,
Okay, so there are different log activities or one log activity with different levels of logs. If you ask me, uh, the levels of logs can be checked online. So Pragati, can you please share your screen and show us UiPath logs? Or you can
Yeah.
add log and press F1. That will take you to UiPath logs.
Correct. 1 minute. Are you not able to see my screen?
Yeah, I can see. Just go ahead and add it.
Okay. So I have not used it at every place, but 1 minute. So whenever I was starting new a workflow and then some activity, I have to define this one, but I have used log here, and even move and create file. I have used that in try and catch statements. I have tried to use then in the catch statement as well. I have tried to use the logs, but yes, I do have to add in between the activities as well.
Not every activity, not after each and every
Yeah,
activity.
not every activity, but at a few places when we are starting any process or something. Yeah. And if
So
we think that there can be any kind of failures, then probably we need to put that in try catch.
yeah. So best practice is not to add right line. So when you add right line, it will be like a trace. You cannot add it into info. So there are different levels of logs. Can you please scroll up and show me the drop down of logs?
Yeah.
Okay. So if there is a log that's written in trace, and if you mention that I want only fatal, then the filtered logs will be only for fatal. So this is the hierarchy: trace, info, warning, error, and fatal. And if I write any log in info, and in the orchestrator I gave access or I gave settings stating that okay, get me details only for errors, not any other logs. Because check how many logs are we going to get for each and every execution. There are hundreds and thousands of logs in a execution. If you are getting 1,000 logs and at one for one transaction, and if we are doing 1,000 transactions, just understand the complexity of the logs that we are going to see. So normally what we will do is we will try to add only errors or warning. Anything above error warning, so if you add warning as the base level, then you will not see info and trace logs, you will see warning, error, and fatal. Now the level of logs, since it is increased, you will not see many warnings and many errors. But those are important logs, because if there is something with warning, it seriously meant that there is some issue that you need to resolve. But info and trace is something that we are writing. That should be fine. And if we are keeping info, so while execution in the robot, you can go ahead and change which type of logs do you want, if you want error logs or warning. So there are different places where you can set what type of logs can be added to orchestrator. So this is the first place, that is in studio. The second place is in UiPath robot. Can you open UiPath assistant? Assistant, yeah. So in UiPath assistant, go to settings.
Go to settings.
Yeah, preferences.
Yeah, settings.
So orchestrator settings. So if you see here, the logging level is mentioned at the bottom. So even in the bot level or even in the machine level, you can decide which type of logs do you want. Okay. And the third option is in the orchestrator. Go to orchestrator once. Go to robots.
Robots. Okay.
Not there. It will
Oh,
go
sorry.
back. Yes, sir.
Go.
Go back. Not here. Go to the
I
last.
think it's in the setting as this one you were talking, yeah?
Yes, machines. Or you can also add in tenant, I guess. Go to
So
tenant.
here we can add, yeah, we can add as a process as well.
No, it's not process. We are checking with robots. So go to logs once. Click on logs. So here you can filter out whatever the different logs you have. So click on filters once. See, the levels is what you need to observe carefully. Warning, fatal, error, and what is fatal? Again, if you are giving something as fatal, it means that the application, the process itself is stopped and there is no way further we can move. Okay, now so that you can filter out here, but this is not what I want to show. Go to the
I,
last.
I think it will be in the settings, machines.
Yeah. So just go ahead and check in the properties.
Properties.
Yeah, select any item and check in the properties. Edit machine. Edit machine details.
It's not coming up.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Click on edit machine. What happened?
Edit machine.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just clicking here.
No.
I'm not able, I'm sharing my screen, so I'm not able to see any action here.
Okay. Just a
1
second.
minute. Let me unshare and then do.
No. Okay.
Yeah, now I can see. Actually, I was sharing the screen, so that option was not enabled. Share. Yeah.
So here you can see different machines, but again, this, can you please check if you can find anything with logs? Because earlier we used to have it in robots. Okay, not here. Can you go to 10, click on tenant?
Click on tenant. Do we have it here?
Give me that.
Yeah. Okay.
Tenant, robot, configure robot. Let's see. Check roles we have. So there are 5 roles. And type. Okay. I think with the newer version, I am not able to see where exactly it is, but you can also check or update log status here. Mm, Default shade. Okay, check for the last option. I have shown you two. Check you how you can update in the orchestrator. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, Vajrang, I have one doubt, Vajrang.
Yes, tell me.
Uh, so if an interviewer asks about how can you do the code review within the project, how can I tell?
So you can use the existing tools that you have within UiPath. So
Okay,
with the latest version, you can go with this, but you can use analyze file and validate file, validate project using workflow analyzer settings. So
okay,
you can say that there are already workflow analyzer settings that are already pre-built in my like they are defined in the at an org level within my organization, and all we need is to check with analyze project and validate file. So what is validate file will do? Validate file will check for that particular file if there is any issue or errors.
oh, okay,
So there are no errors. But if you go with the analyze file, it will check for all the workflow analyzer settings. Analyze is what analyzing the workflow settings. So when you are analyzing the project, it will give you all the list of errors. So if you see here, these are warnings that you can ignore. So large IDX and selectors. So if you see with this particular item, it contains clearly states that, okay, this particular take screenshot, the selector itself is very big. I think she
okay,
added an IDX more than 2. Ideal IDX would be 1 or 2, not more than that. IDX is greater than 5.
fine, okay,
2. So this is an error. So this is a code review that you can do. Second thing is best practices need to be followed, like naming conventions, modularization of code, having try catch enough whenever necessary, all these things.
okay, okay,
So environment.username, one of the interview questions that I faced with UiPath is how do you get a current username? Environment.current username will give you the URL, the current user ID.
okay,
Okay,
yeah, sure,
fine. So we are done with
And
our
I think
training.
often they ask about that as well, that if you have everything downloaded in downloads folder, then the profile settings, how you will retrieve that as well.
Yeah, you can do that. So just check environment.current directory, or you
Yeah,
can
so
also
this is the one,
use.
environment, get environment variable, user
Yes.
profile. Then
Yes,
it will be dynamic. Yeah, so whatever your username, it will pick that profile.
exactly.
okay,
So yes, if you can get that, that's fine. Or environment.current username is also what. Let me just see if you can get this.
Yeah, it is there.
Environment.current username.
And
Uh,
username.
Current directory is what you have.
Username.
Okay, username is what you need. Okay, that will give you the current username.
okay,
Okay.
okay. Mm, mm.
Any other questions? We can continue for next 2 minutes and then we can wrap up.
Uh, Vajrang, I just asked about the add log fields activity. What's the difference between the logs? You can just go to activities and check.
Okay, so there is only one add log fields activity, right? Okay, 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 got it, got it. I got your point. So, yeah, that's a nice question actually. Okay, see here, when you're adding the log, let's just hit on debug and see what do we have it. Step into. So this is
Right.
the log message. So when you're adding this log message, what is this starting of? So these are the log fields that you have. Timestamp, job ID, current job, file name and all. Okay. So what if I want to add more details on this? So along with this, I want to add log fields, and add log fields will work only in this particular file. If you are adding add log fields and if you are moving to other file, this will not work. So add log fields will be a collection,
You
and
like it,
here
where we go. Sorry,
you
guys.
can, no problem. This is lively meeting. Let's go ahead. Username. So I just want to have current username. So environment dot username is what I want. So username is the field that I want to add in addition to the all the fields that I want. So let's see. Once we add it, after some time, I want to delete log fields or remove log fields. Remove log fields. Yeah, here it is. So username is what I have added. So again, create an argument. Okay, this is not the one. Remove log fields collection. Direction is in argument, and there will be only in argument here by default, but here you can give username, and this should be in double quote. The key value should be in double quote. After this particular log activity, I don't want this username, so I want to stop using that. So let's go, and here if you see, this particular activity is not having anything with username, but if I go ahead with step into add log fields, it didn't give any output though, but let's go ahead and step into. Now let's see, username is this one. So according to the requirement, if we want to add more details into the logs, we can see them in add log fields. So when I remove the log field again, now if I use step into and write line, let's see if I have anything here. Now I don't have Pragati or username again. So it all depends on how you want to use that log fields. Best example would be in this particular workflow, we will be adding, let's say that we are working on a transaction item. So the transaction item can be a log field, and for every log, this can be a value. So when I'm filtering, I can filter using that particular ID. So here you will have add log fields or something. Not here. Let's
I
go.
think in init state.
Yeah, in the init main state, we will have init state main. So what does this add? Let's go ahead and see. First run. Let's see what's in first run. Add log field. Somewhere here we'll have add log fields. Yep, add log fields. So what exactly are we adding here? See, all we are adding is business process name, whatever the business process name. So if I want to filter logs based on this business process name, I can filter it. Simple. Okay, every a log from here will start producing that particular ID or that particular value. If I want transaction ID to be added, I can add it. Is it clear, Karthik?
Yes, Arjun. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we are up and more. We exceeded more than 10 minutes. Any questions, or else we can wrap up for today. But I want every one of you to complete the code, because this is a bit tricky use case, and I initially have taken 2 hours to complete the complete code, but to stabilize it, I took around 3 hours. So altogether, I took around 6 hours to write this code. Okay, so you can try and try to complete it by tomorrow, Indian time. So today it's 9 a.m. 15th. I can give you time till 16th. By tomorrow, if you can have the complete code, then we can publish this in a different machine. Okay.
Okay, Vajra.
Okay, Vajra.
Okay. So I'm stopping the recording. That's it from today.